What is up, ladies and gentlemen? CJ the Cheese DJ here, and we are back with a new top 10 for you guys. And today, there's a lot going on around us at the moment. Oh my god. Today we are taking a look at top 10 most popular dinos. Now, this list is comprised of what I believe to the top 10 most popular dinos, based on everything that I've seen across official servers, across my server, and everything like that. So we are basing this heavily off everything that we've seen. What is attacking us right now? A raptor. Okay, great. Well, this is already a great start to the video. So, without further ado, let's get into number 10. Alrighty, so now that we've destroyed everything in the area that was trying to kill us, number 10, in our opinion, is none other than the Stego. The Stego is a great tame, and it is definitely one of the most popular dinos due to it having the ability of being able to soak up turrets. Now, obviously, the Stego isn't as effective as the Trike in terms of reducing the damage. However, the Stego is able to block the bullets from all angles shot at you, which makes the Stego invaluable when it comes to raiding bases. Now, as well as that, obviously, the Stego can act as a herbivore gathering machine, where it's able to gather a crap ton of berries for you. And, well, there you go. You can see there, it's easily able to gather a plentiful amount of berries. More so than the Trike as well. So the Trike will not actually be making an appearance on this video as well, because honestly, the Stego got its spot over the Trike. So guys, the Stego comes in at number 10. Now, coming in at number 9, as you guys can obviously tell, we have the Pteranodon. The Pteranodon is one of the first flyers that you're actually capable of getting in Ark, and these guys are invaluable. They are one of the fastest flying creatures, only third, to I believe the Griffin and the Wyverns. These guys are still incredibly fast. The only downside to them is obviously that they don't have the best amount of stamina, but you can easily breed Pteranodons to easily get up to a base level of 500 stamina. It's a great way to traverse the maps, and these guys are invaluable. They breed really quickly, they hatch really quickly, and they raise really quickly. Well, in comparison to the faster flyers such as the Wyverns. These Pteranodons are great. Now, you can also use them for raiding if you do have a decent enough saddle, enough stamina, and enough health, where you can actually dive bomb to the back of someone's base, avoiding their turrets. So guys, that is why the Pteranodon is number 9 on this list. Now, at number 8, very similar to the Pteranodon, we have the Argentavis. The Argentavis is definitely, in my opinion, heavily one of the most popular creatures. It was going to be higher up on this list, however, some of the other creatures that are further up do deserve the spots, I believe, a little bit more than the Argies. Now, the reason why the Argy is on this list is because these guys have huge carrying capacities. You can see here, this guy is a 150 max tame, and already he's got 720 weight. These guys can get up to 3k weight once you level them up enough in the actual stat. It's ridiculous how much these guys can hold. Now, as well as that, they also reduce the capacity of certain materials by half, such as metal ingots, crystal, stone, I believe, and obsidian as well. There's a ton of stuff that these guys reduce. Now, as well as that, with their TLC buff that they received, they got the ability to pick up extra creatures, such as the Yankee, such as the Doedicurus. I don't know if you could pick up Equises before the TLC pass, but you can pick them up now. These guys are real effective in, being portable taming things, because you can simply pick up a creature, fly it over to your trap, drop it in, and you'll be set. Now, as well as that, these guys also got the ability to regenerate health when consuming corpses. So you can see there, we just killed this Hyaenodon. Now, if we were low on health, we could come up to the corpse, consume it, and we'll get the 20-second buff where we regenerate health at a faster rate. These guys are incredible, and these guys are definitely used for raiding because of their huge weight capacity. Coming in at number 7, we have the Yankee. This guy, you guys really should have seen this guy being on the list. This guy is your heavy metal gatherer. This guy is nuts when it comes to gathering metal and flint, and everyone, like literally everyone, has an Yankee. Nobody doesn't have an Angie, because these guys are the way you get all your metal. If you don't have one of these guys, you are missing out on some serious amounts of metal. And you definitely need to invest in one ASAP. Now, other than that, there's nothing really else that's going for them otherwise than the metal gathering and the flint gathering. I mean, obviously, these guys do a crap ton of damage. You can see here, we are hitting quite hard against this Direwolf and the Scorpions. But you're not obviously going to use these guys to go into combat against anything. Now, these guys are also effective at gathering berries, especially if you level up their melee damage, because you're going to be leveling it up anyway for all the metal that you're going to be trying to gather. However, you can combo the Anki's moves, so he actually has a secondary attack, which you can see there. He kind of just uses his mouth. You can pair this with your tail swing, so that you'll actually get all the berries in the radius. So you can see here, all you need to do is use your tail swing and then press the secondary attack to actually gather the berries, and you'll actually gather a crap ton of berries. You can see here, if we were to do it with our mouth attack by itself, we only gain a small amount of berries. However, by standing in the middle of this, swinging our tail and pressing the secondary button, you can see that we actually got all the bushes in the area. So the Yankee is number 7 on this list. Coming in at number 6, we have the terrifying, ferocious dinosaur himself, the Megalosaurus. This guy, in my opinion, is pretty close to being the king of aberration. You know, he only really has to compete with Rock Drakes and Reaper Kings/Queens. This guy is an absolute beast, and I would definitely recommend him as being one of the most popular creatures, and definitely being a must-have creature on aberration. Look at that sheer damage we just dealt to that Stego. Luckily on Aberration, it's always nighttime, so your Megalosauruses are just an absolute beastly machine that just wrecks everything in its path. It is definitely one of the most popular creatures, in my opinion, on Aberration, and the regular Megalosaurus in itself is definitely a popular creature on the other maps. However, I do believe it's not as effective as the Aberrant version is, because, well, it's not permanent nighttime on the other maps, only on Aberration. And that is why the Megalosaurus is here at number 6 on this list. The creature coming in at number 5 is none other than the Wyverns. Now, we aren't excluding it to just the Fire, Ice, Lightning, and Poison Wyvern. We're also including the Rock Drake in this, because he's technically a Wyvern, technically not, kind of thing. But these guys we're just classing all as one. These guys are extremely popular due to them having the ability to actually carry Stegos and be one of the fastest flyers in the game. These guys are actually faster than the Griffin's base speed. The only time the Griffin is faster than the Wyverns is obviously when he does his dive bomb attack. But these guys have the ability to pick up creatures as well as collect thatch and just deal a ton of damage to everything. Now, obviously, the downside to these guys is that they don't have the ability to wield saddles, which is a little bit of a bummer, so they do take a bit more damage, but their stats easily make up for that. Like, these guys are ridiculously powerful. Now, as well as that, these guys aren't higher on this list because they are a little bit more difficult to come across, because obviously you've got to collect their eggs and everything like that. But other than that, these guys are just absolute powerhouses. With a single Wyvern and Stego, you could effectively raid an entire base worth, well, an entire map full of bases, because your Stego is going to be jacked up on sweet veggie cakes and it's going to have a ton of health, and your Wyvern is just going to be able to carry everything as well as carrying the Stego and just act as another tank. It's ridiculous how good Wyverns and Drakes are. So guys, the Wyverns and Drakes are number 5 on this list. Alrighty guys, now coming in at number 4, the next couple of dinos on this list, we weren't really too sure how to place them. So if you guys get triggered by any of them, please don't take the frustration out on me. Just vent out in the comments. So coming in at number 4, we have the Spino. Now, like I said, this is a little bit of a iffy area because we weren't too sure. Now, the Spino is great ever since he received his TLC buff. Now, obviously, he's gotten all the new abilities that he's received, the ability to go bipedal, pretty much spin on the spot, as well as receiving that water buff that he's got. There you go, you can see there in the top right corner that we're actually getting that buff. And he can go back to his quadrupedal form, still run at a faster movement speed, and still attack things. So all in all, the Spino is a great creature, and many more people use him now than they did previously. He's absolutely capable of destroying everything with his extra melee damage that he's received from the water buff and everything else. You can see here, we're actually dealing quite a bit of damage to this Wyvern. More damage than I was expecting us to do, to be honest. We could possibly even kill this guy. So, you know, you can see there that we are actually dishing out a crap ton of damage to everything in our range. Now, our water buff is running out, so all you need to do is simply walk back in it again, and there it is. We've gotten it once more. So, the Spino is a great tank to have, and I see many more people using him now that he's received his TLC buff, and that is why he is number 4 on the most popular dinos. Now, number 3 on this list, you guys should have seen this guy coming from a mile away. At number 3, we have the Giganotosaurus. This guy is the Gargantuan, the MVP. This guy is like end game dino. This is the one you want to try and get and just have to wreck anything and everything. You want to go PvPing? Get yourselves a Giga. I mean, you obviously don't need a Giga in specifics to go PvPing, but these guys wreck the face off absolutely anything and everything. Unless, of course, you enrage them, in which case you should be very careful and very wary on. When leveling them up, you pretty much just want to level it straight up into melee damage. You don't really want to waste any of the other points anywhere else. You just want to kind of get as much damage out onto this guy as you possibly can, just to maximize your damage capabilities on everything that you are facing. But other than that, there's nothing really else to say about this big guy, in that he is one of the most popular dinos. You guys may or not agree with me him being at number 3. I think it was a pretty good spot, especially considering the dinos that we have at number 2 and number 1. So guys, stay tuned for that, and we'll see how you guys feel about it at the end of the video. Now, coming in at number 2, we have none other than the Reaper King. Now, this is currently a Reaper Queen that you guys are seeing in front of you. However, we aren't unfortunately able to summon in Reaper Kings for some reason. They're just very glitchy. But Reaper Kings themselves are absolute machines. From soaking base turrets and to absolutely demolishing anything and everything in its path. These guys are great because they take reduced damage if there is no light present available. So if there's no charge bugs, if there's none of the things, you can see there we're taking 2 damage from these trikes, 1 damage, and that is without a saddle. The only downside to these guys is that they take damage from charge. So like your glow bugs, your bulb dogs and all that sort of stuff. That is the Reaper King's downfall. But they are great for scouting through all... Okay, we just got kicked off for some reason. They're great for scouting through all of Aberration because of their ability to do the huge jumps. Their poison stings as well help slow down any tames or creatures that you don't really want to face. And of course then they leave you absolutely abandoned and fall off the edge of the map. So guys, the Reaper King comes in at number 2 on this list. So, yeah. Alrighty, guys. And finally, number 1. The undisputed king of all of Ark. We have the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This guy, hands down, in my opinion, is the most popular creature in all of Ark. No matter who you ask, no matter who you find, and there's a unicorn over there, everyone has a T-Rex. These guys are extremely useful for boss fights, they're extremely useful for PvPing, they're just useful in every single aspect. And when it comes to taming them, they're actually simpler than you'd think. So these guys are undisputedly the kings of Ark, and in my opinion, I would definitely think that Rexes are the number 1 most popular creature. So guys, that'll conclude today's video. Let me know what you thought of it down below in the comments. Let me know if you'd make any changes along the way. But other than that, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. I got this soda.